Hello everybody, welcome to another Thursday video. As always, my name is Sam and I'm glad that you're here. In honor of the great Modern Masters 2017 draft format, I figured it was about time that we do my top 5 favorite draft formats of all time. So here we go. Clocking in at number 5, I have Triple Cons of Tarkir. I thought this format was pretty interesting. I liked how morphs added to it. I liked the 3-color aspect. I thought it was very well balanced. The rares, the mythics weren't too powerful. I thought there were a lot of like tips and tricks too. There was a 5-color deck and like a 2-color aggro deck that were both very viable parts and strategies in the format. And that's like something that's really cool. A lot of formats don't have that, right? In a lot of formats, you want to be a linear 2-color deck, but this was a rare format in which you could either be the big bomby 5-color deck or the linear 2-color strategy, and they were both good. I thought that made this a great format and worth putting on my top 5. Number 4 for me is Zendikar. I really like this format. It was super aggressive, but sometimes you had to play 18 or 19 lands in your aggressive decks, but then sometimes you were ramping to big things. It was a weird format. I really enjoyed it. I started after Zendikar, so I personally have only drafted it maybe 10 to 15 times, but those 10 to 15 times I've drafted it, I have really enjoyed it. It comes back on MTGO maybe 2 or 3 times a year, so if you, like myself, have started in the last 5 or 6 years and have never gotten a chance to draft it, I really recommend doing so. It is a lot of fun. It's easy to start drafting because you can kind of just, look for the aggressive cards, look for the black cards, stuff like that. So you don't need to really have a ton of experience to have fun in the format, but that being said, you can go very deep if you want to, and I really like how balanced it is. I think it's a ton of fun. Coming in at number 3, I have Eldritch Moon Shadows over Innistrad draft. I really like this for a number of reasons. One, I thought the jump between Shadows Limited and Eldritch Moon Shadows Limited was huge. Not that it's not always big or a difference, but I thought this one was especially changey, if that makes sense. I really liked it. I liked the power level Eldritch Moon provided. I liked all the different synergies and archetypes and things of that nature. Most importantly for me, I played this format like 80 to 100 times and never got bored. There was not one time where I woke up and I said I didn't want to draft Eldritch Moon Shadows. I thought the format was fantastic. I was still drafting it even while Kaladesh was out. Like I would just play the queues on MTGO. I like the format so much. That for me is like a really big hint that the format's just great if I want to play it even when the next formats come out. So I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of you did too. It was a little weird, right? Standard was very stale at the time, so a lot of people are burning out of Magic. I think that led to a lot of people just saying like, oh, I don't want to play Magic, like the format's not great. I think that was just like overall hatred of the standard format though, not necessarily of the limited format. I really think not only it was a solid limited format, but it was an all-time quality limited format. Number 2 and number 1 are very close. I'm sure a lot of people can guess at what they are, but for me, number 2 is original Innistrad. Now, the reason this is number 2, let's preface, I started 1 block after Innistrad, so I did not get the full Innistrad experience. What I mean by that is I was not at my peak powers as a Magic player during Innistrad, so I did not necessarily get the full experience. Did I draft it 10 to 15 times? Yes. Did I have a lot of fun? Yes. Did I draft the Graveyard Shenanigans deck? Yes. Zombies, werewolves, the whole thing. I really enjoyed it, but I don't think it ran the whole gamut for me. I didn't wake up getting excited to draft it. I just thought it was like really interesting. There's a lot of play to it. And also just like the overall excitement around it got me excited to play it. But it didn't make me quite as happy as our number 1. Our number 1 is original Modern Masters. That's right, Modern Masters 2013 came out 4 years ago and also was the best limited format of all time, in my opinion. Of course, I loved that you could draft Storm, you could draft Rebels, you could draft Aggro, you could draft Burn. There were so many different options. On top of this, similar to the Innistrad limited format, the hype around this one was insane. But it wasn't just hype around the limited format, it was hype around the fact that it was a master set. It was the first one of its kind. They reprinted Tarmogoyf. There were a ton of different things surrounding it. I still remember going to my first Modern Masters draft just like ecstatic that there was even a possibility that I opened a Tarmogoyf. And that was something really, really cool that not a lot of other limited formats have. That on top of the fact that I just thought the limited format was robust and interesting and non-intuitive, but also intuitive at the same time. Like, there were so many different things you could do. There were build around uncommons like Trump the Domains. You could build around Storm, but then you could also build around cards like Glacial Ray. I mean, there's a lot to do, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you everybody for watching my top 5 video today. I would really appreciate if you left your top 5 in the comment section down below. And also if you see someone's top 5, let them know how you feel. Like, comment, say, hey, I really like that set too. Hey, that set maybe wasn't my favorite. You know, some interaction is always nice. Thank you everybody so much for watching once again, and I'll see you next week.